Welcome to the BaseMetrics dashboard overview. In this video we will go over the navigation of the new dashboard and highlight many of the new enhancements. We are currently looking at the welcome page, which is the landing page for the dashboard. Here we will find icons that represent the different types of surveys, from the member experience to the new member, staff, and program. Clicking on any of these icons will take you to the corresponding survey menu page. To the left of the screen, you will find the navigational toolbar. From this toolbar, you can navigate to any page on any survey. This sidebar is a permanent fixture in the dashboard and can be found on all pages. You can also expand the dashboard by clicking on the arrows below. We'll use the member survey as our example for the walkthrough. The menu page shows you all of the available reports within each survey. At most, you'll have 8 viewable reports like you see here, and at the least amount, you'll have 3 for the new member survey. Some of the reports will be familiar, like the pyramid with a few changes, and some brand new, like making your case. Remember, you can also access the same reports using the sidebar. We'll start with the scorecard report. The scorecard is an executive summary that gives leadership and board members a high-level overview of the survey results. Looking over these measures can help leaders quickly identify strengths and weaknesses. In the scorecard, we've included several key percentile rankings and net scores. Percentile rankings reported in BaseMetrics almost always represent multiple survey questions that measure different aspects of the same underlying dimension. For example, operations is made up of questions that relate to facilities, value, and service. They provide a useful way to summarize and compare key measures of Y performance to all other Ys. So a percentile score of 78 in operations means that the branch or association is better than 78% of the Ys we surveyed, or in the top 22%. If you'd like to learn more about percentile rankings or anything else about a specific page, you can always access the tooltips by clicking on the question mark at the top right corner of the page. Net scores are individual questions that use a 0 to 10 scale, 10 being the positive end of the scale. In order to come up with your net score, we add the percentage of people that scored you 9 or 10, which we call promoters, and subtract the percentage of people that scored you 0 through 6, the detractors. We do not use the percentage that scored you 7 or 8. They are considered undecided. NPS score is a measurement of the likelihood to recommend the Y. And the RPI, which stands for Real Positive Impact, is a measurement of the positive change the Y has had in an individual and the community. At the top left corner of your page, you'll see the option to switch between your association and your individual branches. At the top right corner, you will find your survey response information. Now let's go to the pyramid page. The pyramid page should be familiar to most people, but we made some changes. The 6th level member experience pyramid has been recast into 3 levels and now includes impact. Extensive research has shown that the Y experience builds from a foundation of solid operations through personal engagement towards impact. This figure symbolizes these 3 core components of the Y experience as layers of the pyramid. Each core component has a specific purpose and plays a role in creating the Y experience for members, youth, and staff alike at your Y. So you will now find the same pyramid in all studies but new member. Don't worry, what looks like a huge change will seem very familiar as you explore the levels. The scores to the right of the level are your national percentile ranking, and the levels are color-coded to match where you sit in the rankings. The goal is to be all green. When you click on a level, it will bring up a table that shows the subcategories and questions that fall within that level. As you can see, we still kept the percentile rankings for facility, value, and service. They are now subcategories within operations. Each question has the top box score, difference from the national average, and change from previous survey displayed. You can also change the national average comparison to top quartile by clicking on the values drop-down bar at the top left of the screen. Top quartile scores are where the scores start for the top 25% of Ys. I call it the lowest score of the best. Ys that consistently outperform the national average may want to use these scores as their new benchmark. The next level is engagement. Engagement has now been broken into two subcategories. Staff engagement, which is the intentional interaction your staff has with members to make them feel welcome and to help them meet their goals. And member engagement, which is the environment you create in your Y that helps build relationships between your members. You can see that these subcategories also have percentile scores. These scores allow you to easily identify the opportunity areas within the level. In fact, all subcategories within the pyramid have percentile scores. The next level is impact. In the impact level, we use the dimensions of well-being as the subcategories: achievement and health, relationship and belonging, character and giving. Now you can see your bright spots and opportunities within each dimension. You can also generate these tables in Excel by clicking on the Print button. This function is available on most pages. The document should show up as a download at the bottom of your browser. Now let's look at our next report, which is Community Impact. The Community Impact page displays a table with subcategories and questions relating to how members believe the Y is positively impacting the community. Several of these questions are asked in all surveys and can be used as a gauge to how the Y is perceived in the community. The next page is Composition and Segmentation. The Composition and Segmentation page is where you can see who responded to your survey by gender, age, membership type, and so on. You can then segment your data by any of these groups simply by clicking on a composition category. The segmentation table to the right shows the selected segment's top box scores for each question. You can change from viewing top box scores in the table to difference from previous year by clicking on the Values drop-down bar. This is a powerful tool to help you track movement in any of these categories. Please remember that we generate the segmentation reports to help you drill down. By no means are they meant for you to look at all of them. The best practice is to use the pyramid page to identify a few opportunity areas and the segmentation reports to dig deeper into those specific areas. The next page is verbatims. Each survey has several open questions which allow for verbatim comments. You can switch between the questions by using this drop-down bar. One of the most exciting enhancements to the dashboard is the changes to the verbatims page. Like the old dashboard, we still categorize all comments using the bar chart on the left. We've now taken it one step further. You can click on any of the categories to actually see what they're talking about within these groups. So you can see in this example, within facilities, the top things talked about are other facility, which tend to be about expansion, updates, and improvements, and then pool and locker rooms. By clicking on pool, you can then see the comments that were written specifically about the pool. We've also added the ability to segment the comments by responder information. For example, if I want to see what adults are saying, I can choose that segment here. Now you're only looking at comments from adults about the pool. We've even added the ability to use multiple segments. So if you want to see what adults are saying that use the facility at night, I can add that segment as well. Now you have the ability to quickly drill down and see what different groups are saying about your Y. Use this X to remove the segments from your verbatim comments, and use this arrow to go back to the previous verbatim categories. Our next page is the branch comparison report. The branch comparison page is only viewable if you are a multi-branch association. Here, you can compare your branches against each other to quickly find trends within your association. This is the best place to find all play opportunities. This page defaults to percentile scores, and the color of the scores indicates where you fall in the rankings, just like the pyramid. Under the table is a chart that graphs out the scores for each branch. You can drive what's displayed in the graph by clicking on any of the categories or questions. You can change the view in the table by using the Values drop-down menu at the top. Let's look at current year, which is the top box scores for all questions. The table and graph now represent questions rather than percentile scores, and the scores you see are top box. There are several ways you can view data in this table, one of which is change from previous year. Here we use font colors to represent the direction of change you had: green, positive, and red, negative. You can also change between the categories and questions that you're viewing by clicking on the category drop-down menu. Now you're only viewing questions related to engagement. The next report we're going to look at is Making Your Case. Making Your Case was designed specifically for your development and marketing staff. We pulled all the impact-related questions and comments and put them in one place. We've also added the excellent and good or strongly agree and agree scores together. It's important to only look at top box scores when identifying strengths and opportunities, but when you're outwardly communicating impact, use the top two boxes. The comments to the right are the RPI promoter comments. Use both quantitative and qualitative data to tell your story. When you click on the Community Impact button, the data and comments change from impact around individuals to the perceived impact you are having in the community. The Giving and Volunteering page identifies the donor and volunteer gap within your branches. It compares the percentage of members that are currently donating or volunteering to those that say they are likely to if asked, and it also compares them to the percentage of members that say they volunteer or donate elsewhere. For example, 7% of the members said they volunteered in the last 12 months, but 33% said they are likely to if asked. 37% of all surveys said they'd volunteered elsewhere. So how do you close the gap? That's the question we hope these graphs spark. The last page in the dashboard is the All Response Report. This is where you go to see all the questions in the survey and all the scores for each response option. For example, if you wanted to see the percentage of people that marked you poor for cleanliness, you would click on the corresponding category, in this case, operations. Within operations, find the cleanliness question and see how the scores broke out. Remember, in most places in this dashboard, we only look at top box scores because that is where we see the separation between whys and how you can identify your bright spots and opportunities. That concludes the new dashboard overview. I think you'll find the other surveys just as easy to navigate because they're practically identical. Have fun and don't hesitate to give us a call or send us an email with any questions.